What made you write Pretend You Don't Wanna?
Pretend You Don't Want Her is a song about basically when you meet a girl that you like. Quite often, most guys tend to mess it up, you know, because they're too keen, they're putting too much effort in, they're too bothered about her answering, they're like sitting around thinking about her. And
What made you write Pretend You Don't Want Her?
I guess a lot of guys, when they meet a girl that they really like, they try too hard. They're really bothered about the girl liking them and wanting them, so they put too much effort in, and they end up fucking it up 90% of the time. That's how it works. And I've found if you just chill out and that's like you're not that bothered, you know, you're indifferent, you got a higher chance of success, and that's the way it works. Crazy as it seems, pretend you don't wanna, and you got more chance than being super keen.
What made you write I Wanna Be Nice?
It's basically a guy who's wanting to be nice. It's kind of like a redemption song. It's not like some goody two shoes like thinking I just want to be nice to everyone. It's kind of like written as a guy who at certain times in his life has not been the nicest guy on the planet, and at the time that I wrote it I hadn't been particularly nice, and I thought I want to be nice, you know. I've got a good family, good mother, good granddad, good people in my life, and I'd rather be like them than be an arsehole, you know. I've got no interest in being an arsehole. I want to be a nice guy and a good guy and stop fucking up and doing bad stuff.
What made you write She Stopped Loving Me Today?
One of them songs that I just kind of wrote itself. I picked the guitar up and I jammed around. I didn't even write anything down, and I sang the whole thing. It just came out naturally, and it's about a girl stopping loving you, basically, funnily enough, hence the title. And that's it.
What made you write Glimmer of Hope?
That's a song that's about a lass who weren't interested, and I'm 38, so I've met 1 or 2 thousand over the years, and it's like a guy who's keen and he's just wanting her to give him a glimmer of hope. She's obviously a lass who's not that bothered, and she likes other guys more than him, but he's not giving up, he's determined, which tends to happen with a lot of egotistical guys, you know. They've zoomed in on a lass and they're not quitting until they get her, and that's what that song's about, even though he ends up not getting her, I think.
What made you write Daddy Loves You For?
I've got 4 kids, so that kind of explains it, doesn't it, really? I originally wrote one called Daddy Loves You 2, then I had another kid, so I changed it to Daddy Loves You 3, and then had yet another, so now it's Daddy Loves You 4.
What inspired you to do Changing Her Ways?
Changing Her Ways came about, same as 90% of my songs. I just sat around playing guitar, coming up with melodies, and I came up with that one. Then I sat down and wrote some really basic words for it, gets it really simple, and it's basically a story from a guy's perspective about a girl that used to love him, no longer loving him anymore, and the way that she's looking at him is completely different, you know, the vibes that he's feeling are completely different. It's about a lass who don't love him anymore, who he used to do, and it's became one of the songs that I really like singing because it's just simple and you can just express yourself, and it's a nice melody. I really enjoy singing that one. There you go.
What made you write Toyota Rap?
Toyota Rap, or Broken Down Toyota Ace, whatever you want to call it, is a song that I wrote back in about 2005 or something. I'd already written a song called Pee All Over Your Face, which obviously is a bit of a piss take, literally, but the melody of that song was pretty cool, so I still wanted to use that melody and make a more mature song. So that's how that came about, and I was using something called Rhyme Zone in them days, so I was looking up words that rhymed, and that was the first song that I actually wrote using Rhyme Zone, so there's all kinds of rhymes with ace in there. There you go, it's pretty cool, check it out, blah blah blah.
What made you write Wish You Were Here?
Wish You Were Here is like a bit of a desperado, needy, fucking angry bitch of a song, and it's about a guy whose girlfriend split up with him and he's getting a bit desperate, you know, wishing she were there, he needs her, and then in the second verse he ends up smashing his house up, and the third verse he gets suicidal. I only wrote the first verse. That second verse about breaking his house up and going out looking for a fight and this and that were written by a mate called Jill. That suicidal verse was written by a mate called David Tuff. And then I did write like the end part about smoking 1,000 cigarettes and stuff, which is how I was living at the time. Hey, it's a pretty cool song. Video wise, it's one of the best ones that I ever did because I put a lot of effort into that one. I did it all on a laptop, recorded the video on a laptop, and I got people involved in it. I got my granddad involved, rest in peace, my mum, my auntie, my mum's boyfriend. It's a pretty cool video. Check it out.
What made you write Jessica Rhodes?
Jessica Rhodes is a song about X Factor rejects and people who think they're good, living in a dream world, singing with a hairbrush microphone, thinking they're going to be superstars and this and that other. There's loads of them, you watch X Factor, you see them all on there. The mums have told them they're great singers, the boyfriends, the girlfriends, loads of people have told them, and they get deluded and think they're great. And it's just written about a lass who's like that and one of them. And the last verse is kind of just like saying, so what? Does it hurt? This is living in a dream world. Maybe it's a good thing. That's it.
What made you write Don't Call Me, I'll Call You?
That's the song where the guy's like just probably had a one night stand, and then he's with the lass, and she's like, well, she's had a good time, and she's like, so what happens next, and he's thinking that he doesn't particularly want to see it again, but he's in an awkward situation. He don't want to say that to her face. He's going to think, I'll tell you that when I leave. So he's coming up with the usual spiel, like, I've got a lot on next week, so don't call me, I'll call you. And that's it. It's quite a long song about that situation.
What made you write Ignorant Bitch?
Ignorant Bitch is a song that I wrote when I was about 15, 16. And it's about someone that really annoys the shit out of you, basically. It could be a man, woman, beast, whatever. And you're just at the stage where you just think, Jesus, just get away from me. Which I've reached once or twice with a few people. But at the stage that I wrote it, I was just a kid, 15, 16. I'd never even been in a relationship. And I was just imagining what it could be like if you were trapped with someone that you didn't want to be with. And that's why I recorded it way back then. And recently, I was playing some old tape recordings and I rediscovered it and gave it a new lease of life and recorded it with guitar and added a few more lyrics and put a bit of my adult personality into it, and it became a better song. Can sound a bit derogatory because I'm using the word bitch, but it's not meant like that, it's kind of just a fun song and a bit of humour's in there. And like Ice-T says, a lot of men are bitches too.
What made you write Glory Days?
Glory Days is a song written about an older guy, sitting back, looking back at his glory days and reminiscing. And I guess as a guy who, back when I was about 18, to about 28, I got in really good shape. I was in fairly good shape as a young kid, as a school kid, but I was never the ultimate fittest of all. I was semi-fit, I was in a decent level, but when I got to about 18, I really pushed it to the max, and I was at the gym quite a lot, and I'd just drop down, do 100 press-ups, and I went in ridiculously great shape, and I used to love it. But then the way that I lived, I injured myself, and it never really got better. I got a bad shoulder, I kept on working out, it got worse. I got bad knees, blah blah blah. So I was kind of writing as myself, looking back at them glory days when I was able to do all that stuff physically, and they've gone. But hey ho, I'm still okay-ish.
What made you write Aches and Pains?
Aches and Pains is like a continuation of Glory Days. It's kind of the same song. It's just about, you can work hard for a day or two, push yourself and do things that you used to do back in the prime, but that's it, you're done after that, and I found that out myself through, working hard, decorating, or, going to pubs, arm wrestling. You can still do it, doing press-ups. I did that 22 push-up challenge, and I went overboard and did 700 push-ups one day and stuff. You can still do it temporarily, but you can't do it properly. When you got all these injuries, you're fucked.
What made you write Foreign Joys?
Foreign Joys is one that I wrote about 2002, and I was sitting around at my grandmother's house at the time, reading the magazines, Women's On and stuff like that. Not that I'm confused about my sexuality, I don't like that, but there were some interesting stories in there. And there was a story about a lass in her 30s, 40s, I think she was, a big lass, not particularly conventionally good looking. And she was going away to Turkey and meeting all these toy boys and stuff. And yeah, she met this one, I think he was called Vamuk or something like that. And she really liked him, but it turned out he was just after her passport, which is obvious, typical story that you were going to expect. And I thought I'd write something along the lines of that, but it was a smarter woman who went away to these like foreign countries, Turkey, Jamaica and all these places where these 20-something hunks were after all these old women, you know, hoping to get a passport and all that bollocks, but she just thought, I'm going to play them and I'm going to shag them and then fuck off. And she keeps doing that, so that's what the song's about. She keeps going to Jamaica, Turkey, playing these young boys, you know, because they were after a passport, but she's just using them for sex and then getting the hell out of there. I thought it was a good idea.
What made you write about lying to get what you want?
Lying to get what you want is about people
Lying to get what they want.
So basically, I've got to the age now, I'm like 28, so
Yeah, right.
I've kind of realised that most people that you meet along the way in life are full of shit, you know, they're lying
Yeah,
about,
like you then.
lying about, you know, who's the father of the kid, lying about how much money they've got,
Or not got.
not got if they owe you money obviously, and then lying about how tough they are, you know, just that one on the phone. You know, and you realise most of the time they're just full of shit. Anyway, I thought I'd dedicate a whole song to them kind of people who lie to
About
get
what they want.